Have you ever treated deaf people or know about their culture or relationships? Deafness is a physical condition that nowadays exists all around the world. The purpose of my research is letting you know more about deaf culture and their relationships and conflicts between them and hearing people and how to deal with them. I got to think about this recently when I was coming back home with my mom, and she has this weird habit of moving her hands and mouth as if talking when she's thinking too much about something or worried. And she saw someone else do it, and she laughed and said, "Hey, he does the same as I do. I'm not the only weird person." So I laughed and focused on this guy and realized it was a couple. It was a deaf-mute couple, and they were communicating by sign language. That's the moment when I realized these people are part of our society, and sometimes we do not notice them. Now, what is deafness? Deafness is known as the physical condition in which a person cannot hear or communicate because of their lacking auditory capability. Some people may think this is a medical condition, but in fact, it is a way of living. Deaf-mute people have developed their own language, culture, traditions, and behavior. In spite of their poor access to education along the years, currently they have access to different organizations, public or private, in which they have achieved as much success as any other person. Of course, there is a way in which they communicate, and this is known as sign language. Here it's a picture of the alphabet in sign language. We have letters as A, B, C, D, and all the other ones. Besides this, because this is all only the alphabet, they have a sign for every word. It is important to know that approximately at 80% of sign language varies depending on the country. The 20% left is the alphabet and some other similar words. I'm going to give a little example of a sentence in sign language. This is Peruvian sign language I learned during my mission. So, I am a child of God. So this is in Peruvian. The sentence actually it's in Spanish. The important is that this is the way where they have communicated. Now, regarding their relationships, they tend to relate only with deaf-mute people because there has been a little bit of conflicts with hearing people. And that's because some hearing people have demonstrated unfair or narrow attitude towards them. Hearing people tend to see deaf-mute people as sick or disabled, and this causes distrust from them. This is not right. It is like as a foreign person comes from another country and doesn't know my language and I do not know his language. We are not going to be able to communicate even if we can hear each other. It is important for both of us to learn the language, or we are going to talk by signs. It is the same. If we want to communicate with deaf-mute people, we can learn sign language. I learned this during my mission. I got transferred to an area where I had, with my companion, to teach to deaf-mute people. It was amazing. I was so nervous. I didn't know how to communicate with them. But there was a convert who was deaf-mute and was a professional. He was well educated and taught us the sign language, and also brought other deaf-mute people interested in the church and taught them the correct sign language, because when they don't know, they create their own sign language. It is my personal opinion that these people are as any other person. They are not special people with special needs. I just watched a video of people with Down syndrome, telling that the only thing they are looking is for love, education, and opportunities. I think this applies to all of us. Aren't we all looking for that? We are all children of God with the same potential.